What is good, everybody? It is your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. We saw a tough loss yesterday. Not real thrilled about it, not real excited about what we saw, but are the Bears in trouble moving forward? Let's talk about it right after this.
On one, on two, on three.
Stop it! Did not do him like that! Mercy! Did you not get the memo?
All right, so before we get into anything, before we lose our heads, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. If you are a fan of Chicago sports, we do post weekly talking about Chicago sports. I'm talking Bears, Bulls, White Sox, Cubs, Blackhawks. We got to get more Blackhawks in, I'm not going to lie. But we do talk weekly about Chicago sports. So if you're a Chicago sports fan, please get in here. Now, today is a date event. Today is a date event. And we got people in here already. Holy Samurai Jerusalem. All right, brother. I'm sorry, but Bears fans are something else. You guys are either too hard on your team or you guys have your team overrated heavily. All right, well, let's get to it. Let's start things off. The Bears didn't look good yesterday. Would you agree with that? Would you agree with the assessment that the Bears did not look good yesterday? Would you agree with the assessment that the defense did not look good today? Now, I'm not going off the rails. Now, see, you jumped right down my throat immediately. You didn't even let the stream start, didn't let me say nothing. You jumped right down my throat immediately. I'm not going off the rails. You got to listen first. I appreciate you for joining the live, though. Don't get me wrong. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. I appreciate you for joining the live, but I'm simply asking the question, are the Bears in trouble? Are the Bears in trouble? There is no doubt the Bears are 3-2, just like you said. There is no doubt that the Bears have a Super Bowl caliber defense, just like you said. Well, you didn't say that. I'm saying that. The Bears have a Super Bowl caliber defense. There is no doubt that the offense is terrible. But at the same time, the Bears do sit at 3-2. So I asked the question, are the Bears in trouble? I asked that of you. This is Pat and the people. I am Pat the Designer. Y'all are the people. Are the Bears in trouble? Let's start there. Now, personally, I say no. I think everybody needs to relax. I think the offense, from what we saw on offense, has to improve. The offense has been horrendous. There's no doubt about it. The offense has been a joke. There's no doubt about it. Zero doubt about it. But I think that if our defense gives us a normal game, if our defense gives us a game that we're used to them giving us, where they come out and basically stomp the throats of the opponent, the Bears win yesterday. We've been begging for 21 points from this offense, haven't we? We've been begging for that. So Bears fans, take a step back, take a breather, and let's break this thing down. Let's break this thing down. Let's start with Chase Daniel. Chase Daniel made some bad decisions yesterday. Chase Daniel in this offense made some bad decisions yesterday. Chase Daniel did not look as on point with his decision-making as we've seen him. He looked like a backup quarterback. Guys, listen, I hate to tell you this. He's a backup quarterback. You can't expect the world from him. He looked like a backup quarterback. That team got off to a horrible start in the first half. Horrible. And the defense didn't have it. So by the offense getting off to that horrible start, your defense didn't make up for it. Of course you failed. But That does not mean that this team has fallen apart completely going forward. We can call that as a team. As a team, that was our worst game of the season. And we still almost had a chance to win it. Holy Samurai Jerusalem, I believe they can easily run the table, but I at least see them winning at least another 8 or 9 games this year. I also believe that, believe it or not, that was a good loss. Well, I can't go with you on that. I don't believe there's any such thing as a good loss. I do think there are some things that you can glean from it. Some good things that you can glean from it. The fact that the Bears did not give up, the fact that the Bears did not stop fighting is something that you can hold your hat on. Now, does that console you for the loss? No, and Matt Nagy said the exact same thing. It doesn't make you feel better about the fact that you lost. But it does make you feel better about the fact that your team doesn't just die in games. You were down 17-0. And it looked like the Raiders were just going to run roughshod all over you. Another positive I can speak to, the fact that we capitalized on the defense's mistakes. Come on, Bears fans. Y'all know that's something that we don't see often. Y'all know that's something that we don't see often. We capitalized on the defense's getting turnovers, capitalized on the defense putting us in good positions to score touchdowns. We capitalized on special teams putting us in good positions to score touchdowns. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Now the Bears got to be better as a whole. Are the Bears in trouble? Offensively, they look inept. When you need your team to drive down the field, they look inept. I had a lot of people saying to me yesterday that this game is a trap game because the Bears didn't go out there soon enough. The Bears didn't get adjusted to the time zone soon enough. You ask any of the players out there. Ask any of the players. They're not gonna throw that up as an excuse. They're not gonna throw that up as an excuse. And here's Ringo in the live, ladies and gentlemen, the Debbie Downer of Chicago football. They ain't making the playoffs. I love when guys predict against the Bears, especially my co-host. Shout out to Ringo J. Y'all check his channel out. I love when people doubt the Bears like that. They ain't making the playoffs. We're 5 games into the season and we're out of the playoffs. Do the Bears have some things they need to improve on? Absolutely. Like I said before, that offense is horrendous. The fact that you can't establish a running game with, listen, David Montgomery looks like he can make all the moves. He can make all the plays. He's getting no holes opened up front for him, though. He's getting nothing opened up for him. This running game, you got to establish the run game. That was my key. If you check out my 5 keys for a Bears victory, establish the run game was one of my keys. And the Bears haven't done that all season. Now, that asks the question, where's the problem on your offensive line? We've seen Charles Leno make mistake after mistake. Is it Charles Leno? Is it Kyle Long just aging? I love Kyle Long. I want Kyle Long to be a Hall of Fame right guard, but listen, he's older. His body's broken down on him. It's not cooperating with him anymore. You know what I'm saying? So is it Kyle Long? There's a lot of issues on this Bears offensive side of the ball. And listen, the biggest one, quarterback. You hate to say it, but in all honesty, your quarterback is your biggest question right now. Now, the fans are all saying, turn to Tyler Bray. Let's see what Tyler Bray has. Listen, you're still in contention. No matter what Ringo says, you're still in contention to try and make these playoffs. And to everybody, take it easy. They're 3-2. They're behind the Lions that have a tie. Now, the reason everybody's nervous this year, you could tell the reason everybody's nervous this year, because the Packers have a defense. But we got to take it easy, all right? There's a lot of season left. There's a lot of season left. You look at the games coming up. We'll look at the games. Ringo said, look at the games, tell them what games they win. Let's look at the games. They got the Saints coming up. Drew Brees isn't back yet. Now, they're saying he might come back. He might be back soon. Even if he is, it's in Chicago. That's a tough place to win with this defense. And you've got to do it coming off of an injury. That's not an ideal situation for Drew Brees. Are you going to bring Drew Brees back for that? I don't know if I would. The Chargers have not been good. So that's a win in my book. The Chargers have not been good. They've been pretty bad, actually. The Eagles is a tough game. The Eagles is definitely a tough game. The Bears can beat the Lions at home. Going to LA, that's a tough game. You got the Giants, that's a win. That's a win. That's a win. The Lions, another win in my book. At Detroit, though, that's a tougher win. That's a little bit tougher win. But at Detroit's a little bit tougher win. But I still see them winning. And you got the Cowboys coming here in December. Cowboys don't like the cold. And the Cowboys don't look good against good defense. I'm sorry. we saw them against the Packers yesterday. That's the Cowboys team y'all loving on? Easy. Then you go into Green Bay. Then you got 1-5 coming to town, and you got the Vikings. We know we can beat the Vikings. So listen, there's still some wins out there on this schedule, Bears fans. So take it easy. Take it easy. I ask you, this is Pat and the people. I am Pat. Y'all are the people. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. Are you worried? Are the Bears in trouble going past the bye? Are the Bears in trouble going past the bye? I just read you the games. And where do those problems lie? I think we can fully see now. Listen, in my opinion, Matt Nagy's not the problem. Matt Nagy is not the problem. Your problem is at your quarterback position. The Whole World channel, what's good? Appreciate you for joining the live. Please like the video. We've been in trouble. Okay. The World channel says we've been in trouble. I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't know if I feel that the Bears are in trouble. I think that offensively, there's some concerns. Absolutely. I think that on the defensive end, you've got what you've got. You've got stars. You've got talent. You've got guys that are going to shut you down. Now, did they play great yesterday? No. But listen, that's the worst game we've seen from the defense, and they still only gave up 24 points. And that's the worst we've seen from them. Ringo brings up a good point here. Ringo on the live. Akeem Hicks is your run stopper, and he's not there. Now, that's a concern. That is a definite concern. Akeem Hicks not being there you definitely saw the effects of him not being there. Jacobs ran roughshod all over us with him not being there. But do you think that this defense isn't going to make those adjustments? That's the question. Listen, say what you want about the team. This is a Super Bowl caliber defense. Don't hate on it. Say what you want about the team. This is a Super Bowl caliber defense. The Chicago Bears have a Super Bowl caliber defense. Now, the problem is the offense hasn't caught up. The offense hasn't made its moves. The offense hasn't done what we've thought we were going to see it do. And that all stems from the quarterback. And that is a problem. But at this point, we need a guy who can stay out of his own way. Yesterday, Chase Daniel could not stay out of his own way. We've seen time and time again where Mitch Trubisky cannot stay out of his own way. Listen, you get on the field, you get yourself in position to score. The defense is putting you in great positions to score. So you get in there and you make the easy plays. You know what I'm saying? The Bears got to make the easy plays. The Bears got to, the Bears quarterbacks have to not come out and shoot themselves in the foot. Now, Nagy's going to defend Chase. Nagy's going to defend Anthony Miller yesterday after that play, after that last-ditch interception. There's no defense. And you saw Chase owned up to it. Chase went right after, apologized to everybody on the team, says he can't make that. You can see him on the field doing. I don't care what Nagy says. Chase had to stay out of his own way. Chase Daniel was not good enough for you yesterday. Jake Miller in the live. They need to get the ground game going and have their QB not do something stupid with the ball like last year. They're a playoff team if they limit the pass attempts. They definitely got to get the run game going. Listen, how do you help a backup quarterback? How do you help Chase Daniel yesterday? You establish the run game. The Bears have not been able to establish the run game all season. That is a problem. That is a huge problem. The Bears have not been able to establish the run game all season. And that's how you help a struggling quarterback. That is how you help a backup quarterback. You can bring in Tyler Bray. You can bring in Chase Daniel. You can bring in Mitch Trubisky. If the Bears are not running the ball well, they're going to have problems offensively because nobody is worried about the quarterback. They're all worried about stopping the run. Nobody fears the quarterback. Nobody fears your quarterback. They're all worried about if we stop the run, it makes them one-dimensional, and their quarterbacks aren't good enough to beat us. And that's a fact right now. That's a fact right now. Bear down and alive. There are only a couple teams in the NFL with a worse offense than the Bears by the numbers. Agreed. They're going to win 8 in a row against – they're going to win 8 in a row again. Watch. Oh, okay. I'm down for 8 in a row. Anybody else down for 8 in a row? Anybody else down for 8 wins in a row? I'm down for 8 in a row. If you're in the live right now, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. Make sure to hit that bell. We talk Chicago sports weekly, just like this. This is Pat and the People. I'm Pat the Designer. Y'all are the people. Are the Chicago Bears in trouble? That's the question I've posed to you today. Let's see who we got in the live. Jabari Lou. Yo, Akeem Hicks wasn't there when we played the Vikings and we put Delvin Cook in a baby box. Doesn't the Vikings lead in rushing? So how did we let Josh Jacobs run all over us? Well, listen, the defense didn't have a good game. There's no other way to put it. The defense did not have a good game. They had a terrible game. It was a very up and down game. When the defense needed to be the Bears defense, get turnovers, get in there, they were, but they did not pressure Derek Carr enough the entire day. That front seven did not pressure Derek Carr enough the entire day, and that makes it a lot easier on the run game because now it's like, all right, well, we can't get to the quarterback. We got to play back. Oh, he just broke for a 20-yard rush. He just broke for a 10-yard rush. You know what I'm saying? It was the fact that they couldn't get to Derek Carr. The Bears were not able to do what the Raiders were able to do, which is make the team one-dimensional, which is what the Bears excel at. The Bears versus the Vikings, what did they do? They took Delvin Cook completely out of the game. Took him completely out of the game. What'd that do? Made Kirk Cousins have to be a quarterback. That's his weakness. And the Bears have to do exactly what Oakland did. They got to establish that run game. That's how we're going to win in this league this season. That's how we're going to win. That's how we become a playoff team, prove the doubters wrong. That's how we dominate these teams offensively. You got to establish the run game because, listen, your quarterbacks aren't good enough to do it on the merit of their arm. When we got the ball back with what? What did we get it back with? 15 seconds left? I knew it was done because there was no play that Chase could make to get the ball down the field. He doesn't have that kind of arm strength. Now, if you bring in Mitch has the arm strength. Mitch doesn't have that kind of accuracy. Can we meld these two together? That'd be great. That'd be great. Now, at the end of the day, listen. We got a lot of anger today because the loss was yesterday. We got a lot of fury today. We got a lot of, why are the Bears doing this? Why are the Bears doing that? Why can't they figure this out? Why can't they get, listen. We've got a very tough schedule this season, and we're going into the bye 3-2. We've got a winning record. We've got an excellent defense, although a little bit banged up, but we've still got an excellent defense. The Bears will be able to adjust. They'll be able to make up those plays with where Akeem Hicks maybe not in there. You get Kwiatkowski back in there. You get that game plan going. When you got to change on the fly like that, when you lose a major player like that on the fly, a little bit tougher than when you have a week to plan for it. So the Bears can get that thing going. The defense I'm not worried about in the slightest. The offense has to get better. And Nagy said there would be changes coming on the offensive side. Nagy said there would be changes coming on the offensive side. Does that mean offensive line? Does that mean quarterback? Does Chase stay in there permanently? Are we going back to Mitch Trubisky? Should we go back to Mitch Trubisky? But offensively, the Bears have to establish the run so that they don't become one-dimensional. I'm sorry. This is the same Bears team. Bears fans, haven't we seen this for, what are we going on? 60 years? 70 years? No, I'm sorry. 100 years? Have we ever? Well, all right, I guess I'll count Sid Luckman. We're still counting Sid Luckman. Ringo, let me just say y'all wanted the smoke all last season and you're getting it. Well, listen, we've handled the smoke. I don't know what to tell you. We've lost 2 games. We lost 1 game to the Packers where, listen, our offense was inept. It just was. And it still is. And we lost this game to Oakland, a game where we probably could have won if our defense had played a little bit better. If our defense had played like our defense has played all season. So I'm not worried about it. I'm talking about getting the smoke. We've handled the smoke. We have a winning record. We're above 500. We are still in our division race. Now, is it a little bit tough to watch? Is it a little bit tough to watch? Yeah, at times. The offense definitely is. The offense definitely is. Holy Samurai. So if we go 14-2 for the rest of the year, all you fans that are panicking, I want you to please come back with the same energy because you guys sound unrealistic. And that's honestly, that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. If you're unrealistic, if you think that the Bears are going to come out and go 17-0, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Now 14-2 seems a little far-fetched. Did I say 17 or 16? I'm sorry. Now 14-2 seems a little bit far-fetched with this offense. I think there's still some losses on this schedule, but I do think that the Bears as a whole are a pretty good team. I think that even with our most inept plays at offense last week, Chase was still able to hit guys in the hands. Chase was still able to somewhat move the ball down the field. Now, when we needed him to, there wasn't there. That's a story for a different day. Is it because he's not used to being in there? Is it because he's still in that kind of that I'm getting acclimated to actually being in here every play of every down? You don't know. We'll see in the week coming if he's still in there versus the Saints. But if we score 21 points against most teams, with this defense, we're winning. We're winning. Bear down. Do you think it's a good idea to trade for a backup QB at least? Listen, at this point in the season, you've got what you've got. You're not going to bring somebody in. I'm sorry, you're not going to bring Colin Kaepernick in. I know a lot of people want to see Colin Kaepernick. You're not going to bring Colin Kaepernick in. You're not going to bring in guys at this point in the season because you've got a guy that knows the system. You know what I'm saying? You've got a guy who can run the system. Was Chase the greatest quarterback we'd ever seen yesterday? No. And I'm not gonna go into this fantasy with you and say, oh, I think that Chase was amazing. But Chase managed the game. And when the defense puts you in position, when special teams put you in position to score a touchdown, you did. And listen, we have a defense that puts you in position. We're 3-2 coming out of the bye. We're going to be all right, guys. It's going to be okay. Now, do they got to get better? Absolutely. Absolutely. Bear down. They need more hustle and muscle on offense, and Miller needs to stop whining like a baby. Listen, when we're talking about Anthony Miller, he needs to get the ball more. I love Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson made big plays for us. He caught huge touchdowns for us. Anthony Miller needs to be your number 2. And right now you only have a number 1. So if Anthony Miller's doing a little bit of whining, listen, we've seen many diva wide receivers be pretty good. As long as you're catching balls and you're scoring touchdowns, you could be as much of a diva as you want, in my opinion. But they got to get him the ball. The offense has to get him the ball. Ringo, no, I'm saying you guys haven't gotten to the meat of the schedule. You guys have played the good teams, haven't played the good teams yet, and you guys are subpar, bro. Listen. What would you call the good teams? In all honesty, the teams that we can't defeat, that there's no chance of us. What would you say to it? Are you saying the Rams and the Chiefs? Because the Saints are beatable, the Chargers are beatable, the Lions are beatable, the Giants are definitely beatable, the Cowboys are beatable, and the Packers are beatable. So what are the teams that we can't beat? And even if we lose those games, let's say we do lose the games to the teams that you say are the good teams. Yes, we should be 4-1, but let's say we lose the games. That's the NFL. Sometimes you don't win the games you thought you were going to win. You know what I'm saying? But let's say we lose the games that I know you're saying that we're going to lose. The Rams, the Eagles. Who else? That's 2 more losses. You know what that puts us at? 12-4. Who else? The Saints are beatable. I'm sorry. The Chargers got destroyed yesterday. I don't even know what that game ended at. Let me not say they got destroyed. What did that game end with? But it was the Broncos. I do know that. What did that Chargers game end with? 20-13. Okay, they didn't get destroyed, but they still lost to the Denver Broncos. That's my question. What games are we really looking at that the Bears are going to get destroyed in, that they're not going to be able to show up in? We got to relax. We got to relax. Are the Bears in trouble? I'm going to get up out of here, man. In my personal opinion, I think that the Bears are going to be okay. I think that the Bears are facing a little bit of adversity. They're facing a little bit of, this is how we got to improve. But listen, we did this last year. Guys, we were 3-3, remember? We did this last year. And you can say what you want about the schedule. You can say what you want about how, we should be 5-0. We shouldn't be. Listen, that's the NFL. I'm sorry. A lot of teams should be 5-0. And they're not, because it's football. You got to play the games. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. It's football. You got to play the games. I appreciate everybody for joining the live today. I am Pat the Designer. This is Pat and the People. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the page and hit that bell. We do go live weekly. The person I was arguing with, Ringo J, is normally in here with us. We'll get him in here at some point this week to spit his blasphemy on the mic. Y'all have a safe day out there, man. Be sure to tune in. I appreciate the love. Peace.